Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Magic the Gathering Arena. So we did the initial tutorial and then just kind of walked around this interface with all its free-to-play microtransaction BS that any free-to-play game like this will have. The one thing that's mostly concerning me now that I've taken a little bit of a break is this. Now, this seems to be the entry level. This unlocking the speed tier where you would get more rewards. My current level is at 1, and if I get up to level 3, which is where it will have to be to just be able to play the online stuff, I'm sure that's where this unlocks. I will have at that point missed out on this baked into the pie card style. Card styles are just kind of like golden versions, shiny versions of the certain cards that you very well may never even play, and we would be short this. So normally when you have a split like this, and this is $15, what happens is if I was to make it all the way up to 110, was it? Yeah. Like you 92, you get a pack reward if you don't purchase this, and then you get a huge amount of extra rewards at up to 110, and then every level beyond 110 you get something more. So either this Eldrin Mastery resets at some point down to 0, or they just sell you another $15 pack here, which they kind of have to, like, because there's this common Fey Fox that you get for purchasing this, and then this rare Fey Fox that you unlock at level 90. Maybe you can get that for free. Let's go to 90 and see. Or do you have to purchase that? No. It is only accessible if you purchase it. It's 3,400 crystals. You go over here and you could either get plus 10 levels, save 20%, and you've got a best deal 20% offer here. So they really want you to spend, frankly, $30. Let's see, you will immediately receive mastery level rewards for completing all levels if you purchase this or this. So it does seem like we can put this off and you don't have to make that decision right now. But you know what you can't do? Is I'm having a hard time finding a way to cancel that and go back. So that's my main concern right now, is that that there is this kind of buy it now feeling. Meanwhile, like a welcome bundle here for $5, probably not worth buying. I think the Explorers bundle is probably what you should buy. And see, that's where I get the $15, is if you buy this, you get 3,500 gems. Then with 3,500 gems, you purchase this. Maybe the game will be generous and actually give us enough gems just through doing daily quests that's not really a problem. Or you can certainly go around here and buy 20,000 gems for $100 and then spend nearly 20,000 gems on 90 packs. But this is Magic the Gathering, so that seems like that would be crazy to do, because you buy this and then you could afford this and you could afford this, and that's pretty much it. Or you could buy 3,400 gems in total for $19 and instead of buying the Explorer's Bundle. So almost certainly you can only buy this once, and then you will have to spend $20 the next time there is a set expansion coming out. And this one-time purchase is also a big deal. That's a lot of setup, and we still kind of don't know how this game is going to go. We've just, in an hour and 45 minutes, played the tutorial. We need to unlock the online, see how that plays, see how long it takes to play a game, see if this really is going to be the replacement for Hearthstone for me for at least a short time, or if this maybe is going to turn into...
First, you'll need to choose a deck.
So, this is a line of dialogue saying you can play against me before this point in a bot match, I guess. You can't play against another player. So, select the deck. Now, we've been playing Angelic Army up until this point, so it would be silly to do that.
You can change your deck before each game.
Let's play a bot match with this.
Let's play.
Then this, then this, then this, and we'll just go in circles. So we get a good feeling of the 5 mana types. It's kind of surprising, as old as Magic the Gathering is, that they didn't at some point say, hey, let's make some more mana types. But that would be crazy. And I guess they do have some multicolored mana land out there, and mixed colored land that gives you both a blue and a red. And 5 really is a good base amount of mana compared to Hearthstone, where there's only one kind of mana and everything uses it, which makes that way more simplified. You get a little prompt there, but it loads so fast. So Sparky is the name of the character we're playing. Mulligan, your opening hand. Alright, so the tutorial never explained any of this at all, and it really should have. So, you can choose to have any number of cards go back to your, to where you are. So, go back to the deck and mulligan. You can put cards on the bottom of your library. Oh, wait, no, this doesn't work this way where you get to pick and choose. What you do is right now you have 7 cards. If you mulligan, you're going to have 6 cards. So let's just do it for an experiment now. Let's see. So now I think you have to discard something, because it says keep 6 and there's 7 it's showing me, so keep 6. Let's see what that does.
Ready to play.
Well, it's giving me 7 cards. I don't know, I don't understand this.
Let's get moving.
Return 1 card. Drag 1 card from the bottom to the bottom of your library. Alright, so we'll take that. So we did have to get rid of 1 and discard. I think if you mulligan...
Keep going. You can do this.
I think you can mulligan 2 or 3 times. Hearthstone's very different. You start with 3 cards that you can mulligan any number of them. Here's a little fox creature.
Whoa! Oh, sorry. Thought I saw something.
So let's check some emotes here.
Oh, hi. Got anything good over there?
So our character doesn't make any sound effects,
Real nice.
but we get responses.
I'm in no hurry.
You get a little humming sound.
Oh, don't worry. We all make mistakes. Great game.
So meanwhile, if we wanted to mute, we can. So standard Hearthstone things. We're not really missing anything here. And in all fairness, I will say that there is a chance that some of this stuff was in one of the older versions of the Hearthstone digital games. Let's see, what does this say? I love that you can right click this and read this. What? Why did they say you can see my hand? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell,
I wonder what your favorite card is.
Sky Theater gets +1 until the end of +0 until the end of the turn. We're just playing a 20 on 20 health. That's a little surprising. I'm not really sure in what gameplay moves are we going to actually play with 20 health or 30 health, or is it always 20 health, or what? Okay. A non-creature spell. So I guess there are some creature spells also.
You've got to learn to planes walk before you can planes run.
The wisp is a little annoying.
Let's get moving.
There we go, so that tapped that, allowing me to come over here and do all attack. And I guess we could pass our turn if we want to also. What does this little button do? It just hides it? Okay. So, if I was to get a Magic the Gathering deck tracking app, which almost certainly I would want to get, I'm not sure if one exists right now, but almost certainly there will be one that exists eventually. This character is going to just be ignored, and since this is obviously the position for the other character's little pet, there's...
Oh, sorry. Thought I saw something.
Like, there's... Creature spells with flying can cost 1 less the cost.
Whoa! Oh, sorry. Thought I saw something.
Oh. So... Is that really how that works? Creature spells. So it seems like they're describing...
You're doing great.
This as... as if creatures are also spells, which I guess makes sense since everybody is a mage. So the one thing here I would want to do is, like, can you chat with people if you're actual friends with them? And I guess this is the discard deck.
You can do this.
So I don't know what this wait timer is. By the way, I also confirmed that
let's get moving.
Let's just not block and let him attack. This game does disconnect, which makes sense, like, of course. So this one would take this much, and this one would take this much.
Wow.
So let's go with all attackers this time. So I guess we're just playing here. This is just a real straight game, which the tutorials definitely weren't that, so we may just lose. Magic the Gathering definitely has a different feel to it, though. Life is a lot more important. For sure, you have to take that into consideration. Right. So everything is tapped there. Let's go ahead and block one of these. Or block that. I guess that's all I can do. Let's see. Return target creature to owner's hand. Or play a 4/4. We have so much mana on the field, it just really doesn't matter. Let's see. Play that. All attack and see. Let's see. This costs less to draw 2 cards, which we could definitely benefit from that. You see, we have like 6 land cards now. So you have this ever increase of a situation where it becomes easier and easier to summon more and more, speeding up the game, where Hearthstone kind of has this effect of not really speeding up the game and dragging out. Although somehow my experiences in the past of Magic the Gathering still seem pretty long and drawn out. Whenever you cast a spell during the opponent's turn, put a 1/1 counter on Brynborn Cutthroat. This is a flash effect, I guess. So all attacks, I guess, is the right move. Order blockers. Drag the order to certain creatures blocking air in the middle. Creatures will be damaged in the order from left to right.
Anything good over there?
So let's just leave it where it is. Right. When Walrunes enters the battlefield, scry 1. We don't know what scry is. Look at the top card in your library.
Whoa!
You may put that on the top or the bottom of your library.
I saw something.
Okay. So next card, do I want something to return it, or do I want to put it on the bottom? Let's just put it on the bottom. Meanwhile, all attackers will end attack. We've got some music playing. I would say we're probably, if we were to just come over here in the audio, let's see. Turn the music up a little bit.
You've got to learn to planes walk before you can
turn
planes
the
run.
volume down a little bit and see how that feels. I think that's probably where you're going to end up more than anywhere else. Block that. Let's see. Leapfrog has following as long as you cast an instant or sorcery spell that turn. Interesting. Well, I can't do that, so. But turning it around now. The question is, how are we getting experience here? Is it a blanket, just 1 bit of experience, 10 bits of experience, 100 bits of experience per game? Is it a bit of experience for every card you play, for every card you draw, for every turn you take? Do all of those factor? Or is it just some of it? What is this going to block? A 3/3? So, I guess the fact that it's a defender here means a creature with defender can't attack. Interesting. But it can block something with flying, or maybe this doesn't have flying. Here I have 11 mana crystals. We're just going tit for tat with small increments of damage, whereas in Hearthstone, by this point in a game, you very easily could have had something with 10, 8 damage, 30 damage even. You could do a 1-turn kill. I haven't really seen anything go above a 4/4. Interesting, he says, I can see your hand. I don't even have any cards in my hand, so that's obviously not true.
Hey, I can see your hand. But it wasn't easy.
So we just lost there, and I think that's pretty much fine. That gave us 1.5 levels. And it doesn't seem like it's going to tell any internal metrics. Maybe you were supposed to lose, or maybe it just didn't matter. And so then the reward here is these orbs, which we don't know what they're for. I don't know if they just indicate one crystal, but the crystals look different. Or this, which could be just one random card. So orbs are probably more important. I clicked on the orb, it showed me the card, so maybe you get both. So we got Cloud Seer. When Cloud Seer enters the battlefield, draw a card. Alright. And then we get a sound effect for no reason. And then I clicked on the screen where it didn't say claim prize. The following cards have been unlocked in the Azure Skies deck. I imagine all of these decks have to be dealt with later, and then it wants me to upgrade the deck, which, okay, so we kind of have like a Skyrim path here. Play a game with a green deck to unlock. Play a game with a white deck to unlock this card. So here we're with blue right now. Next thing is place a mastery orb here to unlock these cards, and then place a mastery orb to unlock these cards, and then here. So these mastery orbs are going towards a combination of things, and we're getting chimes, which is fine, I suppose. So eventually you've got to get all the mastery orbs, and then you'll have a red-green deck that you unlock, a black-red deck that you unlock. So some of these cards, for instance, like this is a white-green deck. This is a white-blue deck. This is, I guess, just a pure white deck. So a white and a black deck, I guess never the two shall meet as far as this is interesting. doing. So we'll just put the mastery level orb in here. And that unlocks 3 new cards that aren't really showing their new... There's not a great way to read those if you want them zoomed in. Okay. And so once we have 30 mastery levels, this thing gets filled in. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think the account mastery is ever going to get any higher.
Ooh, more quests. You'll get another one every day.
So here's where the daily
Extra
quests
rewards for daily and
come in.
weekly wins too.
Alright.
Golly, there's just so much to look forward to.
So the problem with Hearthstone, now that we're at level 2, we've got something more on the screen. We have a 500 gold and 500 master XP cast black or red spells. Alright, so let's focus on that. And then cast 20 blue or white spells to do this. Which one of these are daily? Which of these are weekly? Like, daily win rewards are 250 gold. Earn wins in standard play, ranked play, or events. So here's the problem, as I see it. It looks like I would have to play Hearthstone every single day. Does that mean I would stream Hearthstone? I said Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering. This is Magic the Gathering. I'm going to make that mistake a lot, almost certainly. Does that mean I would stream it every single day? Absolutely not. That does not work for me. I don't really even like that I'm doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, particularly Friday, because nobody ever watches videos on Friday. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are, as my schedule is set, the days where it makes sense. There's not enough video game news, frankly, to talk daily. Even if this did, I'd have to really think hard about it to see if, like, I'd have shorter streams on the daily. Getting one victory doesn't seem like it's too hard, but I imagine this is some kind of default introductory daily quest. And I assume these are weekly. This daily one can't be re-rolled. You can have up to 3 quests at one time. Alright, so 3 daily quests is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That still works perfectly fine. Thank goodness I looked at that. And 4 hours and 26 minutes from now, I'll get my next daily quest. Which that does either mean they set that timer kind of at a random point, or that they reset it at about 6 in the morning Central Time. Yeah. Well, actually, it's closer to 4 in the morning Central Time as of this recording, which is weird. So, weekly wins are 1 win for XP, right? Or mastery. Like, we have, we're at level 2. Yeah. So, yeah, the account mastery at level 5 is pretty much it. And we get to level 20 on the orb mastery, which, but then there's 3 you get there. So there's 23 in total. You don't get any more orb masteries. You get set masteries. So there must be something that unlocks for sets. What does the mastery tree look like here? Alright. So, place a set mastery orb to obtain a style. Then you get another style, then you get another style, then you get another style, then you get another style. And then you get a special blue-red style card. I don't know if the Royal Scions is a blue-red card by default, and this is just a different skin, shiny version, or what. It seems like that might only really happen for that deck, or those two decks, and everything else is just green. So getting all of these orbs is a little bit weird. I guess if you spend the $15 on this, you do get some gems back, which might be useful later on, and they might be putting you on a path that you could buy the next mastery that obviously is going to happen. The only way this game continues to be something and doesn't just get abandoned after a year. Let's go ahead and play the next game. I don't think anything else we can do. So we need to play 7 more cards like this, so let's do that. Yeah, the next expansion is got to be a $15 mastery level that includes 5 new collections of cards, 5 new decks. And unlike Hearthstone, I would say you have a little bit of weirdness here, where let's just mulligan. Your opponent is choosing to keep 7 or to mulligan. You go first. Wow, the opponent really took his time there for being a robot. Do we have something here? No, I'm gonna mulligan again. And I think it can get down to 3 if that's really what you want. So let's just mulligan again. So now it's like keep 4 cards. We're just desperately. Let's see. You'll have to put cards on the bottom of your deck. Your opponent kept a hand of 7 cards. Alright. Like, I think there might even be a way where if you mulligan 5 times you just lose, or that might be a house rule. Magic the Gathering in particular has been kind of awkward about allowing a lot of house rules, or people just not playing by the real rules and cheating. That doesn't, I think, happen a ton in tournament play, but most Magic the Gathering is being played either at somebody's house or at the local comic shop. I will leave that on top, since I do need land. I'm playing 1 land. Well, you know what? We might as well scry again. Then doing some kind of complicated deck manipulation here. Probably far too complicated deck manipulation for what I'm trying to do. On the other hand, if I just play 7 blues, then I'll have that challenge done, and we can lose. Even if we could play other players right now, there's definitely a problem with how well I would succeed at that. I would probably fail pretty miserably right now trying to play anybody else. And I probably will want to jump into net decking, with aka going online and looking up the best decks to build. I'm sure there's plenty of websites about the best Magic the Gathering decks to build, and particularly, I'm sure there's even a few lists built around the Magic the Gathering Arena. So That's... I won't immediately jump into doing that, but I think I'll be a lot faster. I didn't start doing that in Hearthstone until 2 or 3 years in, and I kind of looked at it as cheating, but frankly everybody was doing it, so if everybody's cheating, those are just the rules at that point. And I'm expecting that other players in Magic the Gathering Arena will do it, so I might as well be on the winning side of that one. So that's 6 characters, but he did something here where he attached a district guard with a district guard.
Ever think about the multiverse? Like, hey, that's wild.
Let's not attack this time. Yeah, I don't know if it's just that they are saving space by having 2 on the field overlap, or what. Okay, so block.
It's important to take your time.
I feel like that's gonna die. And so yeah, I think that's kind of all I can do, because none of these other guys even decided to attack. So just the known existence of them being on the field was a defense against everybody else. Draw 2 cards, that's totally worth it. So these guys didn't attack, which means this one can attack, and this one can attack, and we'll see what happens. That's probably a mistake, but whatever. How is this attacking with 0 attack? So right now he's got 7 cards on the field, by the way. And I guess I kind of have to just do no attacks. Like I just have to play defense if I want to win here, and I don't think I really am going to win. Okay, so I can kill that. I can kill that. I can kill that. I can defend against that. And I can defend against that. I don't know what vigilance will do. But he knows I just have like 2 health, so so I guess when you cast a spell with flash anytime, you could cast an instant. And then it seems like it has an ability. Yeah, that you just click on it to do. Okay. Alright. defense, defense, defense. Defeat, defeat.
Keep with it. You're doing great.
So I want to kind of just attack like that. And I think that's pretty much it. Because these two need to be alive to defend against these two.
Oh, you can do this.
And it really would only take like one spell for him to get past my defenses. So that and that there, that there, and I don't know why I would defend against that, but let's see.
Whoa! Oh, sorry. I thought I saw something.
Just block here and see what happens. Yeah. So I need 2 defenses against here. I need a defense against this, a defense against this. This is the only thing that's slightly useful. So I'm basically gonna have to nickel and dime this this health down to 0 if I'm gonna win, and probably I'm not gonna win unless they run out of cards. They have 41 cards. I have 43. We've got plenty of game here to dismiss that idea.
Good game.
Well, I screwed up there, but I'm now at level 3. So we get 500 XP, which apparently each one of these Magic the Gathering coins is worth 250. 500 gold, 500 XP, and a Mastery Orb. Claim the prize. Meanwhile, what would I be playing more likely? Probably blue-white. That sounds right, if I was to pick anything. Yeah, we're gonna get through all of that really quickly. And so then that just moves this down.
Look, special events. Each one is different. This will let you toggle on all events. Let's try to finish another quest.
Alright. Cast 2 black reds. So now they're promoting the welcome bundle. We have the Sealed Throne of Eldrin. Tear open 6 packs of your deck. Building prowess to the test. What is this?
You'll need to earn more gold to play in events.
Like, so this is an arena run. You receive 6 14 card packs. That's weird. 6 14 card packs. The cards will be added to your collection, and you'll use them plus basic lands to build a 40 card deck. Play games and receive prizes based on this. 2,000 crystals. I'm not gonna lie, if people really want me to do a live this, I'm gonna have to insist on some kind of equivalent exchange. I don't know if you can gift these kinds of purchases and gems to people that would friend me on this, or I don't know, support me via PayPal, or give me an equivalent of that amount of money, or even just gifting me a game on Steam in general, because like it's really hard on my own, not knowing how many people are even going to be interested on this, to pony up the cash up front for a game like this, and that's true for people that aren't YouTube streamers also. Advanced play modes off. this would also be a standard. What is standard metagame? So click to learn more about rotation, rewards, and all of that. And that just brought me to a website. Rotation. Each year Magic the Gathering sets are released and added to standard once per year when the fall set releases. 4 of the oldest standards release, which means they release 4 of things, 4 expansions at least a year. And yeah, this is just a forum post. We'll not do a little too much with that. All of these, I think, are mostly a forum post. So, standard metagame challenge is in 10 hours, and I need 2,000 gold to get into this. Bring your standard deck and play your best out of 3 matches. You will receive rewards based on how many matches you win. So 0 wins gets you 500 gold back. 1 win gets you 1,000 gold back. So pay 2,000 to play this. 1,500 is 1 pack and 1 gold, which that probably is worth your money. And this starts in 10 hours. Apparently you can't do it right now. 3 wins would get you your money back and 3 packs, so you want to get at least 3 wins out of 7. Whereas in the Hearthstone Arena, you wanted to get 7 wins out of a potential 12 and whatever 3 losses. But then this plays differently too, because it seems like you're getting the best victory out of 3 matches, so you're playing 3 matches against somebody. If you win 2 out of 3 of those, then you get 1 victory here. So it really is 12 games you would have to play just to break to make a guaranteed profit, or at least 9 games to make a good profit there. That's super. That is definitely super time consuming. And then traditional draft zone of Eldar is, let's see, select 1 card at a time from a rotating draft packs. This actually is probably closer to Arena. Cards will be added to your collection, and you'll use them plus basic lands to build a 40 card deck, 40 being smaller than a standard 60. Play the best out of 3 game matches and receive prizes based on how many matches you win. So, again, crystals. If this is not going to hand over crystals on Daily Quest, yeah, we may be checking out early here. So black or red spells. I think it'd be easier to play red. I can't really do any of this. Man. And this is starting to feel pretty greedy. Let's
find events here too. Keep an eye out for new ones. Want to learn more? Come visit me at the Learn page.
And so there's the Learn More page. Has a Twitch thing, which maybe would give you some free decks if we went to Twitch, and it just immediately linked to Twitch. Set resource, online resource to build your Magic Door deck, online resources, and level 1 the full course. And you can replay the tutorial from that location too if you want. Online video resources. Alright. So, ranked draft core set. If I was to click this, I don't think we can do that, because we'd have to draft, and I don't think we're ready to to do that? Or, well, let's try it instead of doing another bot thing. Let's see what this does. Oh no, this Rank Draft Core Set 2020 is 750 crystals or 500 gold. Everything's going to be gold or crystals. Which I think that pretty much means that you're going to be stuck with standard events for free or standard ranks for free, or maybe traditional standard for free. Suppose what we should do is just start playing ranked. I think that's what we probably should do. Standard ranked or traditional standard ranked or traditional standard play. Let's start with traditional standard ranked. I think that probably would make more sense. So for the first time, here we have our wait time to find somebody. We're gonna play against a real person and see what we can do, and we'll friend this first person ever just to see how that works. Alright. Shock, deal 2 damage. I've never played a red card before. This probably is fine to start with. Although dealing 2 damage to any target is probably not super useful as far as dealing 2 damage to your opponent. I'm just going to keep this and basically pass the first turn. Let's see, we'll need to discard down to 7 at the end of this turn. So your hand maximum is 7. So there's a decent reason to mulligan the first time, or the second time anyways. Just go ahead and pass the turn. Passing a turn in Magic the Gathering might be way more dangerous than it seems. So he's gonna try and, let's see. So we're gonna just resolve and not cast a spell in reaction to that spell. There's a lot of ordering here, certainly. Let's see, just what? I want to play a land. Okay. Why can I not play a land? Like, I'm confused about what's going on. I guess that was all his turn? Well then, well, this is the problem of having things in your hand, and this has been a problem specifically with Magic the Gathering games in the past, is that you do just have this desire, you get prompted a lot to do things, and it gets a little weird. Mountain. Like, I generally won't know what any of this is, so it's just, see. Let's see, next. All attacks. Attack. Next. In turn. So just having this instant spell in your hand really frustrates you because it's like, well, we're waiting for him to play right now, but then as soon as his turn phase changes, there's a way that we could do something more. So we just let it resolve. And this is how it plays in Magic the Gathering for real too, is that you just do end up having to do things like this, where you just pass, and some of this you would not have to say or do anything. You just don't tell them that there's an instant card in your hand. But some of this, certainly you do have to do something. So it seems like GDM doesn't really know how to play this either. It seems like there's a one waiter on this and a clock, and this clock is what, going down or going up? Revealed cards. So a bunch of cards were revealed and shown to me. Yeah, so you have a 30-minute time limit on this game, on games? Interesting. That is very interesting. Alright. Alright. These are not flying and these aren't flying. So, attack. So is he gonna defend now? He's thinking about it. Wait, why couldn't I play my card? Well, I screwed that up. I thought I would have been able to play an instant there. What's this little crown thing? A creature with trample deals excessive combat damage to the player's planeswalker. It's attacking planeswalker. I guess it's just hero. Alright, so we'll defend that. And this, we can block that. This guy doesn't have trample, so you can just block it with one card, and that's all I really needed to do. It feels like the game has decided, whether accurately or not, to just not to ask me to do the instant card anymore. Unless there's something on the field that's stopping instant cards. Like, this is an artifact. Okay, we didn't know artifacts existed. This is an enchantment. This is a legendary creature. So legendary creatures have a little bit of a border around them. but don't look particularly too different. +3, +0 until the end of the turn. Interesting. And flying, so I could do some massive damage now that I have this on the field. This spell can't be countered. 6 damage to any target. Seems like his timer might be running down. This guy needs to go. And I think we can cause that to happen. I figure that there must be a card in this setup that specifically allows you to target another creature, because right now that seems like that's something you can't do. Dealt non-combat damage. That didn't work. Can I cast a spell? I don't have anything to cast. So you just let all of that through. Interesting. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more for me to learn as far as Magic goes. He is one of those half green, half white cards. This guy is playing a much better deck than I'm playing. I assume if we run out of time, we just lose. By the way, that would just make sense. What does this do? This has lifelink. What is lifelink? Let's see. Damage dealt by a creature, planeswalker spell with lifelink also causes its controller to gain that much. So it's a lifesteal equivalent. Let's hit this one in the face. And then that does buff this guy up. And then all attacks. And then attack. So we kind of see where the red cards come from. So either you block with this, or you can't block with this. That does 7 damage. Wow. This got buffed up quite a bit. I think in part because of something else. So if I can just do 6 damage to him, I think I win. And I've got 3 guys on the field. So I think I'm gonna win this. I don't know how I won this. Like, I don't feel like I deserved to win this. But somehow, with a basic deck making absolutely no changes, the thing seems like I'm gonna win this. Now, this guy has 2 timers on him. So is it 3 strikes and you're out and you concede? That'll be interesting, because that's been a major issue and cheat that I've used in Hearthstone. I have definitely just left the game running many times to hope that the opponent gets bored and concedes the game just to get rid of me. So it seems to me like maybe they've figured a way around that and said, well, if you get three countdowns, you just lose immediately. And we'll have to, I guess, experiment with that. We'll just have to see. Defend that, and you can't block those, so block. Does he even have any flying characters? I don't think he does. Guess I don't have enough mana. Oh, that's a shame. So I'd need one more mana to beat this guy. Do I want to attack with this? No, because you just defend it. So just attack with that. I'm not trying to mute this guy. Oh, that guy had reach. Forgot about that. Darn it. So what is this? This looks like a hero replacement card or a planeswalker card. Like I said, they're totally different than regular cards. I don't even think they have the same card back to them. So like he's doing something great crazy. And unless I get on land, I can't do anything next turn, so I'm probably gonna lose. And even if I did get on land, I'm 1 damage short. So all I can do is do that, and that's still probably not enough. Alright, so let's see. They're sideboarding and we're playing another game. So you do end up spending an hour, I guess. Potentially. I don't even have a sideboard, so I can't do anything with this. Ranked is going to be slower. It is going to be slower in Hearthstone, in Magic the Gathering compared to Hearthstone. Because that would have been the end of the game right there. It was just, okay, I lost. I didn't know what to do. That's it. Let's move forward to the next person. In this case, we're going for 2 out of 3. So I guess now I get to draw first or play first. I want to draw first. Let's see. And then I'm just gonna keep 7. This is really where your balance of your deck is gonna come into play. So pretty much skipping my first turn anyways. I don't think the first player on his first turn can do anything anyways, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Early game with a trample creature, not a bad move, but we kind of know that this is I'm already like doomed. Because he has way better cards than I do. So do I want to attack or just say no attacks? Well, this is just a human knight. This has trample but not flying. But this has flying. The animations are a little weird. And the scrying ability seems to be able to be on either side. Maybe there's a standard reason why scrying would be on the right versus the left, or maybe it just is wherever they put it, depending on the card. Like, this is an example of a very complicated card. Like, Seasonal Ritual, 1 mana, Sorcery Advanced. This is a special skin. Add 1 color mana of any color. Tap, add any color of 1 color. So there's adventure. You may cast a card as an adventure after you do exile it. Here we have a mistranslation to English. Considering this is an English game to start off with, that's a problem. You may cast the creature later from exile. Alright. Am I gonna block this guy? No. So no blocks. We go. And play this again. And we're still not ready yet. Well, this one's flying, so there's really no reason why that one can't attack. And so at the beginning of each game, it starts to ask if you want to play the instant thing, but apparently it stops after a while. It has like a, okay, you've said no several times, you obviously know what you're doing, counter. Even though I obviously don't know what I'm doing. We are early to this, so I am spending a lot more attention here. It will take several weeks, if not months, for me to get so well off as far as understanding what's going on that I can figure out what I'm doing and just play ranked normally. What we don't see here is any indication or desire to make us have a certain number of ranked victories. Hearthstone had a 500 ranked win that I did not get from most of the 9 hero classes. I got it from maybe 1 or 2 of them over the course of 5 years, and then they just introduced or announced that they were adding a 1,000 ranked win, or which I don't know if it means 1,000 ranked wins in total, probably not, or 1,000 ranked wins per hero class. The deck mastery ideas are a lot more. Let's see. So it's making that sound and I'm not paying attention. Okay. So here's character's outrage deals 4 damage to a target and 3 damage to that creature's controller. Okay. Is there a good reason to do that right now? There you go. All attack. All 3 attackers, you decide how you want to do that. That puts him down to 1. Of course, it also leaves me in a bad position because unless he can, well, I guess I kind of have one. Like he can do, unless he can play a bunch of spells to beef himself up, he can't do enough damage where I can compare to what I'm doing. So he just conceded. Okay. So that puts us at the hour and 15-minute mark. And we're gonna basically, in an hour, you can only play like one best of 3 game. So the daily quests are really gonna have to balance out that concept. Wait, and I assume once we get out of this game, we'll have that daily quest done. I may have to play a little bit off screen just to get everything aligned, because I'm recording this on a Thursday. I want to start playing Magic the Gathering on a Monday, so I would want all the daily quests and no extra daily quests to be missed. But I would always want it to start with 3 daily quests on Monday, get at least 2 of those done, and that way I'll have 3 daily quests that overlap. I'm not sure any of the daily quests in this game will actually overlap, because so far all we've seen is play red cards, play blue cards, or play red and black cards, or play blue and white cards. I think were the daily quests. So unless we get multiple daily quests that say play white cards, or multiple daily quests that say just draw cards, or play cards in general, or deal damage in general, there's a potential that 3 days worth of daily quests takes a lot longer. It's a little surprising I won in that last game, but it does show I went from completely not knowing what cards were in my deck at all to kind of understanding how this works. I do know how to play collectible card games, and yeah, undoubtedly there would be an there would be a, this is a good hand to mulligan, a problem. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna keep 6, but I hope that's not a mistake. And I'm gonna put this back in the deck. Played a Planeswalker card immediately, or a land card immediately. Let's see. If Leyline of Abundance is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. Whenever you tap creatures for mana, add an additional tree mana. And this guy taps, he's playing a white deck now for health. So he's straight up has changed his deck, which I would have thought you would have been locked into playing the same decks with just the sideboard. I don't see the point of having a sideboard if you can just change things. Although maybe he is playing the same deck. Maybe he was just playing a white-green deck and he's now sideboarded somehow so that it's more, his draw is more white than anything else. This is an instant spell, so just you can already figure how it will be pretty obvious to figure out if somebody has a instant thing, because it will take them longer to end a turn unless they pass the turn, which I think they're a little less likely to do. So this guy buffs himself up if I use mana, which is fine because I don't really have any other thing to do right now. What does this do? Temple of Mana enters the battlefield. When Temple of Mystery enters the battlefield, scry 1, tap for a blue or green. So if you have these better mana cards, you are going to be in a much better position to do things. What does this guy have on him? Can't attack or block. That card is gonna be... that's a problem. So we need some kind of card that would destroy an enchantment. Each creature you control named Pack Mastiff. Well, I can definitely play that. Four damage and 2 damage to the creature's controller. What can I attack with, by the way? Yeah, let's just all attack, because worst case scenario, he blocks those two. Otherwise I do 2 damage. Is he gonna allow it? Or should I just play this? Yeah, I didn't see that coming, I guess. Now this guy does gain a life if he's tapped, so he could start regaining his life instead of attacking. It's a pretty good card. Take your pick, either attack and tap or tap and get health. I need to experiment and just see what the countdown timer does and how many of these you can trigger before it just gives up. Or maybe it doesn't trigger any, maybe it just countdown timers and counts it up so you have a indicator of just how long, how many times people have waited till the very end of their turn. It's strange that he let the other attack through, but I guess maybe he wants to open the door so he can hurt me more. Whenever a secret splinter attacks, It deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Player or planeswalker. Not sure if there's a difference there. Do I want to attack this turn? I don't think I can use the abilities. Well, I could, and what could he defend against? I mean, that's tap, that's tap, that's tap, so why not do that? No attacks this turn. This has to be a creature I deal 4 damage to, so might as well do it to that guy. Unless I need to do it to that guy. We've got some nice music playing. It'll just be a matter of time before we figure out whether the music is a little too obtrusive or if it gets annoying. It's definitely different music than the kind of very repetitive music you hear in Hearthstone. Like, there's way too much of that. 6 damage to any target. Right, how much would this work? I can either cast this, do 4 damage on that, and 2 damage. Probably is the right move. And then, what are we gonna do otherwise? All attacks. Only thing he can defend is 1, and so he'll have to decide. Take your pick. Yeah, I think I've got this. I think if I just attack next turn, as long as I don't lose, I do 6. I can't cast a spell. I don't have enough mana. Oh, that's a problem. I'm running into that being an issue. I still may be able to do a significant amount of damage though. Just attacking everything. Whenever you gain a life, you may pay 2 mana to draw a card. Okay. Okay. So what do we have that would defend against this? This is obviously going to attack, and this is obviously going to attack. Now the question is, do we want to get 3 past this, or do we want to hold on to... Let's add just 1. Like, I'm not going to do the math here. I'm just going to have 3 attack, and we'll see what that does. I'm not close enough in mana to play this to do 6 damage. So I probably shouldn't have attacked with that goblin. And honestly, if I just kind of waited a turn, I might have been better off. There's a revealed card. I like the revealed card thing. He revealed it, then he summoned it somehow. I'm still not sure how any of these cards are really doing anything right now, so that's an issue. First strike. Let's see, what is first strike? First strike, a creature with first strike deals combat damage before creatures without first strike. Okay. I don't know how that's gonna play into anything, but we'll see. He's playing a lot of cards, so he's going for the kill. Vigilance and first strike. I don't think that's gonna help him any. This is all I can do. Yeah, without getting any more mana, I can't play the 2 cards I need. And just look how messy this board has gotten now. We've got, and this is digitally where they're trying to clean it up too. It seems like there's kind of an empty space over here, but yeah, the board is getting very, very messy. And yeah, I've certainly seen in high-level Magic the Gathering play it getting this messy with just so many different things you can have, with really no rules or limitations on how many of enchantments you can have on the field, or artifacts on the field, or basic lands. Like, I don't know if there's any real regulation there at all. And all I can do is block that one, and then decide whether I want to save myself or not, and I guess I'm not going to. He's up to 12 health. But remember, we have a daily quest to play 20 red cards, so we've probably already done that, but we might as well pretend like we haven't. And there might be some internal quest things. Bronze tier 3, bronze tier 4, if I can read correctly, constructed rank. Alright. So our reward, 75 gold, 75 XP, Throne of Eldaron, a card that we get to flip, and a red deck mastery gem, I believe is what that is. Or just the start of being able to upgrade this deck with having a better card in it. So I need to play this, I need to play a black deck real fast, a green deck real fast, and a white deck real fast. Too. We are at 1250 gold, and all of a sudden we get a notification in our pack store. Upcoming reward is a uncommon wildcard, opening packs, RNG wildcards, and 5 or more packs till then. Like, I've heard stories of people buying packs of Magic the Gathering cards and just tearing the garbage cards in half and throwing them away, because they are so useless. And there is a really odd balance between the good cards and the bad cards in Magic the Gathering, whereas I think Hearthstone, being a 100% digital, game is a little bit kinder and more balanced, even though I still would argue that Hearthstone has 4 tiers. They have commons, rares, uncommons, and legendaries, when really it should be like rares, maybe epics, and maybe legendaries. I didn't say that right. Hearthstone has commons, rares, epics, and legendaries. They don't have uncommons. That's something else, or nothing at all. So you open a pack and you get a common wild card. Redeem wild card for any common card by adding the desired card to your deck. And we start off with a combo card that looks good. I don't know if it really is good, though. Like, who knows? So the get packs when you're here. I could buy a pack for 1,000 gold, but as far as the store is concerned, there's lots of things we can buy. Lots and lots and lots of things, including avatars for 3,000 gold. So, and some card sleeves. Is this one? It says, I don't think that says limited. It says, I think it says Liliana. It's like a Japanese word. And then card styles. Seems like you can spend maybe per day. And look, I noticed there's a redeem code all of a sudden. So somebody out there is getting treated better than somebody else. Clearly. Maybe there's some redeem codes that they will tweet out, so I'll have to start following Magic the Gathering on Twitter or something like that. But we aren't getting any gems. Alright, meanwhile, we need one more daily victory, and we need a little bit more experience. Standard play, ranked play, or events. Traditional, standard, ranked. Standard play, ranked play, or events. So let's try just standard play, and go ahead and select the next thing. I guess we did this. I think we've done this, but maybe not. So force might be a good idea. And then the other thing is like a direct challenge would require friends. So how does one friend anybody? Let's see. Because that was a question. It's like, how do you build up your friends list? How does that work? Profile. 20 days until this ends. Change avatar. Just options. I doubt it would be there. It's not the help. Let's come back over here and play. Play. No, it seems like there's just direct challenges. That's all you can do. Display name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there seems to be no friends list at all. I guess that kind of also makes sense because there's no integration here. You'd think Twitter or Facebook friends or something, you would want to integrate it into something, even if none of those services are particularly desirable to be used these days. You'd still want to integrate it into something to make it easier. Heck, even if you just tied it into LinkedIn friends, that would be better. Or Match.com matches or something crazy like that. So that's a bit of a loss compared to Hearthstone, certainly, that you can't have a friends list. It's not a huge loss though, because in all honesty, the vast majority of people who friended me on Hearthstone tried to play me that one day that they were watching my live stream, and then they never came back to any of my live streams, or they just got tired of Hearthstone and quit playing. So very few people that ever friended me ever played me again, or ever played Hearthstone again. So direct challenges are fine. I guess the idea there is if I was streaming and somebody wanted to send me a direct challenge, I might be okay with it, but maybe not, depending on just how much time it's going to take to do the daily quest, which I think it seems like... Did I just draw? What? Apparently I just drew with somebody. That looks like a glitch. Like I connected to somebody and then the game glitched and then it just gave us both a draw. Hearthstone doesn't really have draws, and that was part of its problem. In one way, that it just made the games go a lot longer. So while we're in here, ooh, this is way too many mana things. So while we're in here, we'll try and see if there's anything different. Hearthstone might have a little bit of networking issues. While we're here, let's just mulligan again. Let's just mulligan until we are at the lowest. Mulligan, 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 mulligan. Drag 7 cards. So let's see. Wow. So mulligan, you just mulligan, mulligan, mulligan until you have no cards. So don't ever do that. Remove stop. Stop on opponent's second main. Stop on opponent's upkeeping and draw phase. Stop on my first main. Stop on my upkeep and draw phase. Okay. How do you remove the stop? It just toggles, I guess. Okay. So these icons are just stops to control when it stops. It barely looks like anything changes. Yeah, there's no way here to friend anybody. Like, you can't click on their name, you can't see their full name. It's just what it is. I swear if I win on this, this will be hilarious. Standard play, I guess, will probably be the play we want to play. I said play way too many times in that sentence. Because I'm guessing what that does is it creates a game where we just have to win one time compared to the others. Okay. What does this do? Hexproof? Yeah, let's just play it and see what it does. Do I want to attack or not? This one has a +1/+1 counter on it. No attacks. So yeah, I think standard play will be the one we want to play most, but if we want to get into ranked, we probably need to play ranked. We also have not been told so far what we get for playing ranked at all. So that's weird too. I'm gonna do a little experiment. I may not have this display. I'm just gonna come over here for a second, and sorry about the music. Fit to screen. No, that's working. Sorry. My open broadcast software looked a little funky. I thought maybe it was clipping off the bottom of the screen. It doesn't seem like it really is. Even if it is, it's clipping off an unimportant bottom of the screen. If anything, it might be adding some bottom of the screen, and I don't know how it would be doing that, but whatever, we'll see. So the next thing we need to experiment with is see what happens on the timers. I'm almost certainly going to lose here anyways, and we've been going long, so let's just let the timers happen and see what that does. Will that, on the first timer, cause us to end our turn, and then second timer cause us to concede? Timeout used. So I only have one timeout now left. So timeouts, if they were truly timeouts, would not let us do anything. We could take as much time as we want. I don't think that's the case in this this instance. So there goes my one extra timeout. So yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe as the game goes on, you might be given a second timeout every 5 minutes or so. But I don't know how this is going to go eventually. Because if all your timeouts are missing and then the timer just keeps happening over and over again, well, I'm not sure. So let's not delay our experiment here. We need to find this out. At what point is this going to just start very rapidly ending my turn, or is it going to just concede? Hearthstone, it just kind of very rapidly ended your turn, and a lot of times it would make it seem like you had a lot less time than you did. If you were even slightly paying attention, you would be able to play in that time. And sometimes the timers would stop even burning down if you started playing again. But this would be really, really slow. I'm gonna just not press any buttons not move the mouse, not press any buttons, and we'll see what happens here on our turn when we don't do anything. We're gonna lose anyways. So this would be an exact example of how sore losers play in Hearthstone and any collectible card game, is that they just let the timer run and hope that the other player gets frustrated and quits. But I think there's probably a bit of a flaw in how this timer is working, and some tweaking here and there in general for Magic the Gathering Arena should happen over the next year, assuming they're committed to it and continue to make updates and continue to have people play it. What we don't want to see is them abandoning the player base or forcing the player base to another point, to a newer game. Yeah, so it passed my entire turn, all the phases when that timer came, and now it's my opponent's turn, and it's, I assume, let's see, warning, you haven't acted recently, act soon, or you'll concede the game. That's what we needed to know. So there is 2, maybe 3 timeouts you get on top of the 1 timeout, and that's it, and then you just concede. And we'll see if this concedes. And we didn't get enough experience to move up. So we unlocked a new character, and we have a new gym. So we're now just looking for white and black decks. But that was just one game. Seems like you get more experience playing bot games more than anything else, though. Or maybe it is just an instance of needing to play as maybe rank just gives you more experience, or maybe it's just playing cards in general. Alright, so that was a very experimental game. We needed to know how often you can mulligan. If there is a house rule, if you mulligan 3 or 4 times, you concede. Apparently there isn't. You can mulligan all the way down to having no cards whatsoever. Which we know, we've seen those cards that specifically do play to that. There are cards that say if they're in your starting hand, which would be after your mulliganing, they can just be played. So, playing these are going to be difficult. Deal 2 damage to a target creature and gain 2 life. Is this a creature? No, this is an instant spell. So we have a lifesteal of 2/1 that we can start on the field. Just playing one game here, though, is not enough to wrap your mind around the entirety of these starter decks, even. It's just no blocks start with 6 damage. Wow, that's massive. Let's see. Oh, he did his hexproof thing. Alright, well that sucks. But whatever. It probably was still the right move to remove that 1/1 token from him and weaken him for the rest of the game. +1/+1 token, I guess is the right way to phrase that. Let's see. What is this one? Death Touch. Any amount of damage this creature with Death Touch deals is enough to destroy it. Alright. So, that looks like that's cool. Can I cast this on that? No. So cancel. Creatures don't include planeswalker players, whichever you choose to call. Here's the thing though. Does Death Touch automatically defeat him? I don't think so. That would be like a super Death Touch. That would be asking too much, frankly. We can already start to see that having a black deck is going to be built around taking damage and then regaining damage. Resolve. Resolve. I could do 2 damage to it. That has Summoning Sickness, so I don't know why I would want to. I mean, I've got the... I guess I got the mana, so... Just kill it. Kill it like that. That way I'm playing... let's see. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature, destroy a target creature. Like I've got nothing. I need to cast it all. I feel like these buttons probably should be a little bit further this way. A lot of these collectible card games probably would play better if you weren't playing at a high resolution of 1080p and brought it down to something a little bit easier. And they do have keyboard support, but my keyboard's so clacky and noisy, and I think that's pretty common for most people with keyboards, that you really wouldn't want to have your left hand on the spacebar, just passing phases. Or I didn't even look at it. Let's see, gameplay. Full control is control, shift control, pass until response is enter, pass turn is shift enter, undo is Z, pass priority is space. So I don't know what pass priority does, per se. Be nice if the game explained some of that. There's a lot of tutorializing and explanation not being done here. Things where you're going to have to go to outside sources and figure out whether this is something that would really be worth someone's time. And see, if you wanted to go really fast and just go click, 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 click on the button here, I don't think that would work either. Let's see. 2 damage. Don't want to sacrifice anything. 28 health. And then sacrifice a character to do more damage? I don't think I need to. Just attack. If he decides to block with anything, he's gonna die. Yeah, we're 2 hours in and we'll wrap up, I think, after this game. I think we have the general idea going on here. This looks playable. I don't know if I want to invest in purchasing anything and getting into the intro. That's where views, likes, comments down on these videos will really be a determining factor as far as whether or not I want to go deep in this. It seems like gems can only be purchased. Maybe there's some other ways to get gems that they'll reveal later, maybe through redeem codes or something, following Magic the Gathering Online Arena. I think there was a different game called Magic the Gathering Online, actually, that was just more of a website. This is Magic the Gathering Arena. A collectible card game like this needs its own interface. Now, I vaguely recall some of the artwork in Magic being a little bit more mature and adult too. That being said, Hearthstone, which is super friendly, family friendly, also had a adult mod, but I can't blame the creators for what some mod maker makes. But I don't think we're going to run into anything too extreme here. This doesn't seem particularly family unfriendly, whatever that is even supposed to depict. I think it's a woman dancing with scarves doing a circus act type performance. It's interesting. I'm fairly certain we only started with 20 health too, so it seems like your health can just go up infinitely. Interesting. That's a slight difference compared to Hearthstone. That might cause the game to potentially be a lot longer, but it may not be a big issue on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I'm just left with concerns about how am I going to get gems while staying free to play, or am I going to be able to do that? And wow, a 10-10. And how will how often will this game update and add more things that you have to buy? And how long will it just take me in general to get things done? As far as daily quests. And of course, hopefully there's a fandom out here that actually wants to watch me play this. At least until the Second Dinner game. Second Dinner being Ben Brode's new company that is going to be a Marvel game. And until that comes out in a couple of years. I imagine it'll take a couple of years unless they rush it. And then that would probably be a mistake. 100 goals, not a lot. One card. It's not particularly that interesting. So we also have account mastery. Right. So would I want to go hard on blue? I feel like blue probably is the easiest one to go with. So Or should I go with the thing that I would struggle the most with? Let's just kind of go in a circle. Like, I feel like we're going to get these orbs of mastery so quickly anyways that it won't even really matter. At least relatively quickly. Right. So the next thing we could get would be 1,000 gold and 1 more orb. Yeah, and once we get this up to level 21, that's pretty much it. And then we'll have that mastered. And then this is my main focus, is just, do I want to put that money in here? And we've got some timers, certainly. Like the fact that this unlocks in about 8 hours and this unlocks in about 8 hours. But I think almost more than half of these things cost at least gold to play, are a little weird. And apparently I need 1 more victory. So let's see. Weekly win. Apparently it's 1 more victory here, 1 more victory here. And then 2 hours and 47 minutes here. And then just eventually this. Yeah, we don't even get anything for the next level. Yeah, that's gonna suck. You really need that boost. Like, they are really making you feel like you're a lesser player without that boost. And I almost certainly, within 4 months, there'll be some new Eldrin mastery, some new pet. I guess they'll probably run out of pets eventually or have to slow down. But I seriously doubt this is something that's just going to last a year or even 4 months at most. So 1 more standard game. That's clearly the way to play, even though ranked games would be where you'd want to eventually start playing. I don't even think you want to play traditional ranked games as much as you want to just play ranked games. Maybe the regular ranked games compared to traditional ranked games are not 2 out of 3. If that's the case, that would make it a lot easier. Right here, death touch. That's all good. Oops, I forgot to change. Alright, let's go ahead and concede. And try that again. We needed to change our deck, and I guess it's important for us to remember to do that if we're going to swap around a lot. It kind of feels like Hearthstone, well, compared to Hearthstone, Magic the Gathering Arena is more of a game where you can pick your deck and just stick with it and play with it, and you can just play that same deck over and over again, and they encourage that a lot more. Where Hearthstone, through their daily quest, was actively pushing you within the course of a month to at least play 5 to 10 games of every hero class and every style. Alright. This. That seems good enough to start with. I've got a game on my phone that I'm playing at the same time, so apologies if I'm taking a little bit longer than normal. It plays itself, but you do have to kind of tell it to play itself, and there's a dozen different ways this game can be played. It's called Destiny Child, no relation to the to the music band. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There we go. Alright, I've got it going now, so back to focusing. That's a great example also of just how I'll be distracted when actually playing Magic the Gathering Arena, is that I will be taking a lot longer per game, and we'll have to see how well that plays out. If you would gain life, gain that plus one more. Angel of Arrow gets a +2/+2 as long as you have 25 or more life. Interesting. There aren't any real Hearthstone cards like that that buff based on your hero's life. So they're doing something slightly different. Just enchant this card so it can't attack or block. All attack and attack. This heals because of its lifelink. This is a interesting end of game maneuver. Tapping all of your opponent's creatures and getting lifelink. So, or you can play that mid game too, I suppose. What do I want to do here? I think I could play this. Give it +2/+2. All attack. Yeah, unfortunately, you do get into this mana low-end scenario where you're mana poor and can't do anything. A lot of times. That has been a complaint about Magic the Gathering in the past, certainly, is that there is some games that just go really bad because you don't have any land, and some games that go really bad because you have way too much land. Hearthstone, I think, addressed it with their, you get one mana crystal per turn and it's just set in stone. But that kind of is also making something that's complicated less complicated, which makes the game less interesting in the long run. Wildness, craziness, and less of a focus on making a game that is only focused on people that want to play it as if it can be a calculation that's solved, is, I don't think, really where this should go. so buff this up. And if they decide to block this, then I'll buff it up even more. So are you gonna block or are you gonna let it through? But if I don't get a land next turn, I can't play this. Even if I could play this, that would be useless to me. So all I can do is click all the buttons. We've got some different music playing. Let's see. What does this say? Double strike? Creature with double strike deals both first strike and regular combat damage. Interesting. We need it on the field certainly, so we'll play. In a good position to win, but not a great position. Bolus Citadel. Legendary artifact. What is this? You may look at the top of your library at any time. You may play the top card in the library. If you cast a spell this way, pay its life equal to its converted mana cost rather than mana cost tap sacrifice. The 10 nameland permanents, each opponent loses 10 life. Gnome land permanence. I have no idea what that would be. Right. Now, do we want to cast this? Or do we want to cast this? I think we want to cast this. Yeah, we can do one attack here. They enchanted my guy. Seriously? I didn't think you could block with a summoning sick character. Well, I was wrong about that. Okay, let's see if we can get these on the field. Now this has flying. This doesn't look good for me. Is this a special card? Shiny cards? It looks like it. It looks like it has like a see-through backing to it. That was one of the new technologies they figured out. That's why Card Captor Sakura, the clear card series, came out. So in Japan, at least, they could sell clear plastic-backed cards. I don't think it fully makes sense to have clear cards in a lot of instances in collectible card games, but there might be a way to get it to make sense. Cast a spell only if a creature is attacking you. Create a 1/1. Create 3 1/1 spirit creatures tokens with flying. Alright. I don't have enough mana to cast a spell though. I'm gonna lose next turn if I'm not careful. And I don't think I can really do anything else. No blocks. Can attack or block, can attack or block. This would be the only thing that could attack and block. But that's pretty much all we can do. And all attack, which means one attack. Yeah, I think I've lost. Well, yeah, this will be the last game we play. But I think immediately here I'm going to play a game off screen. Like, I don't really have anything more to say. It's just going to be a learning process to get around this. I might go and see if there is a deck overlay software for Magic the Gathering Arena. But otherwise, I think we're set. I think we're set perfectly fine. And starting Monday, for me, I will start streaming Magic the Gathering Arena instead of Hearthstone. We did get experience. And some more gold. And yeah, I guess we're just going to go in circles and try and improve all of our decks as much as possible. That way, no one deck is like really overpowered when we have a daily quest that requires us to do something else. 2,350, and take note, they made a special effort to give us 50 gold, which we will never be able to spend. I guarantee it. That's just always there to make you feel like you have some gold that needs to be spent, so you feel like you need to play more. Well, what's interesting, I guess all play modes, when you don't toggle them, then it does kind of just focus you down away from some of the wild play modes, I guess, would be the equivalent there. Alright. So is there anything else to say? On tier ranks, at the end of the month, in 20 days, if we get to bronze, we will get a pack. If we get to silver, we'll get a pack and 500 gold. If we get to gold, we'll get 2 packs, 1,000 gold, and 1 card style. If we get to platinum, we'll get to 3 packs, 1,000 gold, and 2 card styles. If we get to diamond, 4 packs, 1,000 gold, and 2 card styles. And then mystic reward is 5 packs, 1,000 gold, and 2 card style. So if it's bronze tier 4, that tells me that there's a tier 3, a tier 2, tier 1, and then do we get different rewards for limited versus regular? Seems like we might. So unless it costs gold, which it very well may be, to play constructed or limited. You probably should play both. Let's see, set wise, yeah, that's just the mastery thing. Pack wise, let's see, one more pack, we'll open one more of those. Deck wise takes us to the deck editor, which you do have copy, paste, import, clone, delete, and we could just go to the collection in totality, I guess. And if I wanted to craft something, I could do that because I have one of these. It doesn't seem like there's a dust equivalent, and it doesn't seem like there is a interesting red or blue toggle. I don't know why. Select. Did I just dust something? Is that what I just did? I don't think so. What is this? Does this turn it into crystals? Did I just get some crystals? No, I didn't get any crystals. I can see this is kind of slow in general. And if we can make new decks ourselves, just drag the cards over, I guess, and I guess whichever image you use gets stretched over the box as a skin. That's kind of cool. So any box you make potentially looks different as a deck. Let's see. 22 forests. Change deck layout. I think I like that a little bit better than the side, but it does run into a visual issue there where you can't really see very many cards. That totally feels like that's more of a done. Save it anyways, I guess. And then you have an invalid deck, which we can click and then we can delete. There we go. That's the way we do that. So yeah, this was, I guess, how you would net deck. So yeah, I think we've seen all we can see. I'm a little trepidatious here, if that's the right word. I'm a little cautious here. The crystals are the main problem. Unless there is a way to get enough crystals through some kind of grinding method to get some of these bonuses, or maybe it just doesn't matter about the bonuses and maybe you can really play this free to play, you might be just out of luck if you try to play free to play this from the word go. Where Hearthstone, like I've been saying, I've been playing it for 5 years, almost 100% free to play. I think I may have purchased one welcome bundle once in that 5 years time. So 5 years of entertainment on a 3 times weekly basis, are, albeit some of those 3 times weeklies weren't particularly entertaining. It's still not bad. It was by far not a bad deal, but it does kind of still smack into the concept of free to play and really get closer to free to start. This feels like it's free to demo, and then you might really run into a problem if you don't pay at least $15 to start with. And then, of course, it's always going to be pay to win. Anytime any of these microtransactions are in the game, it's going to be pay to win. Just people with an infinite amount of cash buying cards, net decking, or knowing what cards they need to play. That's been a problem with Magic the Gathering in general, in the real world, and in every previous digital game. I would say also some of the previous Magic the Gathering games had a lot more single player story modes to it. Here we can see there's nothing like that right now. Unless this is a something. Like this which costs 2,000. Like, unless this is a story thing, and it isn't, there's kind of no more tutorial or story content, which is crazy because the older Magic the Gathering games did have that story content, and I don't think anybody who bought those older games would have been upset if that single player story content was merged into the free to play stuff. It would have been a lot kinder if anybody who had purchased any of the Magic the Gathering games from the past, not Arena, but any of the Planeswalkers games, if they had taken all of that content, or a lot of that content, and just copy and pasted it into this game and say, hey, there's about 100 single player level things, tutorial things you can play at your leisure, and anybody who bought the game up until this point is now getting grandfathered in and getting a special card back and getting special rewards for having purchased those previous games. People would have been very happy with that. Instead, what you have is, if you type in Magic the Gathering on Steam right now, you see several games that are not Magic Arena, and then Magic Arena is its own website and its own download. And then there's also Magic Online, which still, I guess, kind of exists. So they've got way too many cooks in the kitchen and way too many pots in the fire. Anyways, we've been going 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos, because that helps me with YouTube, tells them that my videos are worth watching. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites so you can get backup notifications, there's a bunch of links down below. Since obviously you can't friend anybody in this game, I will put out the link in the description eventually to show where people could direct challenge me, but I don't think I'll be accepting too many direct challenges if it gets overwhelming, because that really would just be a waste of time. There seems to be no reward or benefit for doing that, doing direct challenges. Since there's no friending, that also means you can't send friends crystals or packs or anything like that. So that's a bit of an issue too. So then the only way I can get people to support me and help me make the decision to spend more money in this game would be by either supporting me down below via the Patreon link, which would be just straight up cash, and that's helpful. Or you could friend me on Steam and you can gift me a gift card or a game off my wish list, or just a game you'd like to see me cover. Anything that lowers my expenses in those factors makes it more reasonable to spend more in this factor. That's it for this recording. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.